Hare Krishna. So we were very happy with the wonderful response after the first session on the Bhagavad Gita covering the first chapter, and there were many questions. So I have selected about 8 questions and I shall try to answer them based on the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita or of the authorized Vedic scriptures. Question number 1. My question, Guruji, is who were the people who were supporting the Pandavas other than Sri Krishna? I mean, physically, who were in Pandavas' army? Actually, in the first chapter itself, during the observation of the armies by Duryodhana, he points out to Dronacharya the great warriors who were on the side of the Pandavas. From verse number 4 to verse number 6, in 3 verses, is the description of the warriors on the side of the Pandavas by Duryodhana. Apart from that, of course, even in the Mahabharata, there is a detailed mention of the great warriors who were on the Pandavas side. So in the Bhagavad Gita chapter 1, text number 4, it says, अत्र शूरा महेश्वासा भीमार्जुन समायुधि युयुधानो विराटश्च द्रुपदश्च महारथः दृष्टकेतुश्चेकितानः काशीराजश्च वीर्यवान् पुरुजित् कुन्तिभोजश्च शैब्यश्च नरपुङ्गवः युधामन्युश्च विक्रान्ता उत्तमौजाश्च वीर्यवान् सौभद्रो द्रौपदेयाश्च सर्व एव महारथाः. So the warriors mentioned by Duryodhana on the side of the Pandavas are of course Bhima, Arjuna, and previously he had also mentioned the son of Drupada, that is Drushtadyumna, Yuyudhana, Virata, Drupada, Drishtaketu, Chekitana, Kashiraja, Purujit, Kunti Bhoja, Shaibya, Yudhamanyu, Uttamauja, the son of Subhadra, Abhimanyu. So in this way, 15 warriors have been mentioned on the side of the Pandavas in the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, and also 5 more, the 5 sons of Draupadi, they are mentioned as Draupadeyaha. So totally 20 warriors on the side of the Pandavas have been mentioned in chapter 1 of the Bhagavad Gita. So let us move to the second question. Hare Krishna, wonderful session, Guruji. My question is, how long was the Bhagavad Gita bodhana on the war field, on the battlefield? So the Bhagavad Gita contains about 18 chapters and 700 verses. If anyone chants them continuously, it takes approximately 1 hour's time. So the Acharyas have mentioned that before the battle of Mahabharata began, for approximately 1 muhurta, that is for about 48 minutes to 1 hour, this was the duration of the bodhana, of the instruction of the Bhagavad Gita given by Krishna to Arjuna in 18 chapters and 700 verses. The third question is, as per some sources, the original Mahabharata written by Vedavyasa was 8,800 verses, which was later expanded by others to 10 lakh verses. Please clarify on this. So there are some sources, but they are not authentic or authorized or genuine, who claim that the original version of the Mahabharata contained a section called Jaya, and which had only 8,800 verses. And later it was expanded by the conversation between Sauti, that is Vaishampayana Maharshi, and King Janamejaya, and later by Suta Goswami. But the complete version of the Mahabharata, as compiled by the author Vedavyasa, contains exactly 1 lakh and 1000 verses. This is also mentioned in the Matsya Purana that Lakshenaikena tat proktam Vedartha paribrimhitam Bharatakyanam akhilam chakre tad upabrimhitam, that Mahabharata contains Lakshena ekena tat proktam. It contains 1,10,000 verses. So next, the fourth question, they also say Bhagavad Gita also. So this question is also asked by the same person as the previous question. They also say that Bhagavad Gita was added so much as it can't be delivered on a battlefield when all were waiting for 18 chapters to start the war. I think you mean to ask that there was not sufficient time to speak 18 chapters, 700 verses, and then both the warriors on both the sides are waiting to begin the great battle. So maybe it was spoken concisely in a much smaller way and then it was expanded. So again, this so-called claim is not true, not authentic, not genuine. None of the great acharyas who have written the commentaries and explanations on the Bhagavad Gita, including Sripada Shankaracharya, Sripada Ramanujacharya, or Sripada Madhvacharya, or Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Jiva Goswami, none of the great acharyas have validated this point. Right from the first commentary that is written by Adi Shankaracharya, he very clearly has maintained that the Bhagavad Gita contains 18 chapters and 700 shlokas, and all of them were spoken as it is on the battlefield of Mahabharata, and it was just a matter of about 48 minutes, about one muhurta. So it is not true that the Bhagavad Gita was tampered with or anything added later on. The Bhagavad Gita as it is we find today is the original version from the last 5,000 years. The next question, question number 5. Thank you very much for giving a very good light on session 1, though we had some technical glitches in the starting. I have a question which require your clarification. Why Dhritarashtra requests Dhananjaya to use his divine vision and narrate the situation at Kurukshetra, though he knows that Dhananjaya was supporting Pandavas? I think there is a little misunderstanding in your comprehension that Dhritarashtra inquired from Dhananjaya. Actually, Dhananjaya is another name of Arjuna. So Dhritarashtra did not inquire from Dhananjaya. He inquired from Sanjaya. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1, text number 1, Dhritarashtra uvacha dharmakshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsavaha mamaka pandavaschaiva kim akurvata Sanjaya. So Dhritarashtra is very clearly inquiring from Sanjaya, kim akurvata Sanjaya, and Sanjaya is not on the side of the Pandavas, he is on the side of the Kauravas, and in the beginning he did not even come to the battlefield at Kurukshetra. He was seated in Hastinapura, and because Dhritarashtra was blind, this special arrangement for Dhritarashtra to know what is happening at Kurukshetra was made by Vedavyasa. As mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita itself, chapter 18, text number 75, Sanjaya says that Vyasa prasadat shrutavan etad guhyamaham param yogam yogeshwarat Krishna sakshat kathayata swayam. Sanjaya was able to envision everything on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, just like we are having, just like we see a live telecast. So Dhritarashtra inquired from his secretary Sanjaya and not from Dhananjaya. Question number 6. Why the Lord has to blow the conch shell when he was not fighting directly? Why Drushtadyumna, the chief of the Pandavas, the commander of the Pandavas, didn't do it as Bhishma, the Kaurava chief, did? Yes, the commander. Okay, there are two parts of this question. Why did Lord Krishna blow the conch shell when he was not fighting directly? In fact, in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1, text number 14, the first conch shell on the side of the Pandavas was blown by Madhava or Krishna. Panchajanyam Hrishikesho Devadattam Dhananjaya. So, it is also mentioned in text 15 that Madhava Pandavaschaiva Divyau Shankau Pradadmatuhu, and the name of the conch shell is Panchajanyam Hrishikesha. So it may be a little surprising that Krishna, who is not even participating in the battle, is the first one on the side of the Pandavas to blow the conch shell. So this is the supreme position of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, and also this was the place accorded, this was the status accorded by the Pandavas to Krishna. Even in the Rajasuya Yagna performed by Maharaj Yudhishthira, the Agra Puja was performed in the assembly to Lord Sri Krishna. So that is the reason why Krishna first blew the conch shell. And your question is that why did, the second part of the question is, why did Drushtadyumna, the commander of the Pandavas, the commander of the Pandavas army was Drushtadyumna, and the commander-in-chief of the Kauravas army was Bhishma, and on the side of the Kauravas the first conch shell was blown by Bhishma. So why didn't Drushtadyumna, the commander of Pandavas army, first blow the conch shell? Or actually your question is, why didn't Drushtadyumna blow the conch shell? Actually, Drushtadyumna did blow the conch shell, which is mentioned in chapter 1, text number 17, that Drushtadyumno Viratascha Satyakischa Parajitaha Drupado Draupadeyascha Sarvashaha Prithivipate, that Shankhan Dadmuhu Prithak Prithak, that all of them blew their conch shells, but Drushtadyumna was not the first one. The first conch shell was blown by Krishna, and second by Arjuna, then the other Pandavas, and later it was blown by Drushtadyumna. So why the Lord blew the first conch shell on the side of the Pandavas, I have already answered earlier, and Drushtadyumna also did blow the conch shell, but a little later. The next question, question number 7, you had correlated Krishna's cow to the Vedic Upanishads. Could you clarify on this? So this is an allegorical presentation in the Gita Mahatmya in text number 7, that Sarvopanishado Ghavaha, the entirety of the Upanishadic thought and teachings has been compared to a cow, and the Bhagavad Gita has been compared to the nectarian milk derived from that cow of the Vedic Upanishads. So this is stated in order to impress upon us the importance and significance of the Bhagavad Gita being the supreme among all the Vedic literatures. The final question, that although there are many more questions, but I would like to address about 8 questions here. So finally, the 8th question, if elders are like Dhritarashtra and swajan swavichar में अंधे हो तो कैसे respect करना वैसे लोगों को? How should we respect people if they are like, if the elders are like Dhritarashtra? We are not Pandavas. We feel very hurted to tolerate such elders. How to deal with such elders without getting their curse? Please explain, Guruji. So again, the ideal of behavior should again be the Pandavas. The Pandavas went, and Yudhishthira Maharaj, like before the battle of Mahabharata, he approached all the elders and sought their blessings in a very, very humble manner. Even after the battle of Mahabharata, it is very elaborately explained in chapter 13 of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam how Yudhishthira very honorably and respectfully had maintained Dhritarashtra and Gandhari. Although Dhritarashtra had perpetrated so many crimes against the Pandavas, Yudhishthira did not have any animosity towards Dhritarashtra, and still he honored and respected them on a daily basis. It is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam. But now, this may be a little too much to ask for in our practical life, because sometimes when the elders are a little harsh on us or are not of ideal behavior, we also tend to respond back and give them back in the same coin. But we should learn from the behavior of the Pandavas. Even if we are not able to follow that supreme or high ideal set by the great personalities like Pandavas, or even we find in the Ramayana, Rama, before he left to the forest, he also went and sought the blessings of the person who was responsible for this great disaster, for this for his going to the forest, that is one of his stepmothers, Kaise. So, although we may not be able to come up to that ideal, still we should always remember that we should try to emulate their behavior, their attitude, and their attitude towards the elders, because the blessings of the elders, of the superiors, are very, very potent. When from their heart they bless us, it is very valuable. And on the other hand, if they curse us, that's not very good. So in case if we are not able to tolerate the behavior of the elders, the minimum that we can do is we should not respond back in the same coin. At least if we are not able to serve them or honor them or respect them, the minimum that we can do is we should not do the negative. At least we should stay. If we are not able to serve them in a positive way, we should remain in a neutral manner, and there is something called upeksha. We should neglect the ill behavior of our elders and not behave in a ill manner with them. So there are many more questions, but we have taken up about 8 questions, and we shall be having the next session on chapter 2 of the Bhagavad Gita. So we welcome all of you to join that today evening, and if you have any more queries or questions, you are welcome to post them either on the WhatsApp group or in the comments section in the YouTube. Thank you very much. Namaste. Hare Krishna.